Guys, sorry it's taking a little while for episode 2 of the whole trading tips video, but I'm going to make it a little bit quick, and I've actually decided I'm going to do it a part 4 video, and if you can hear my parents in the background, I do apologize, and just didn't want to wait any longer to get this video up. Normally I wait for them not to be in the house, but it's whatever. But here, I'll go ahead and go to my items, and this is mainly going to be about crafting, and kind of mid-tier stuff that you trade for. Don't ask about all the crates, I'm actually selling them for one of my friends. But I mean, in between last video, I've made a good bit of profit. I have a bunch of refined up at the top, got a bunch of stranges. There's 6 pairs of earbuds, Stormy Storm, Larkin Robin. But the first thing I'm going to kind of show is crafting hats. Like I said, how I was going to end in the last video. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to go to crafting. You're going to go to special, go to custom blueprint. And first things first, you just take 3 refined. There's 2 different ways just to craft random hats. You can click craft excited, yay, yay, geisha boy, blah, 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 it's a terrible hat, anyways. And then you can go over here, and there's a detective noir, and then you have the whatever hat, I don't care. You just 2 craft hats, and you craft them together. Yay, no mercy for the spy. And then, which I personally, I hate it whenever, you can see the craft name, so you can just click on it and then go down to restore. Yes, wipe it. No longer says it. I'll leave it on that. I don't really care. And then also I was going to explain kind of like a currency, like I was saying. Uh, well, okay, I'm trying to decide what I want to talk about first. I guess I'll go ahead and start with the spreadsheet. If you don't know what that is, just after this video, or if you want to pause it right now, go to Google and just search TF2 spreadsheet. I try to avoid the spreadsheet, but for people who are most likely watching this video in need of help, the spreadsheet's going to be good for you. It's just a general price guide. It just has every item in the game. It doesn't have like a couple of the weird ones, like it doesn't have but it does have pretty much any item in the game. Tells you the price if it's dirty, like I said in the last video, which means if it's craftable or non-craftable. If it's vintage, strange, just pretty much anything. It tells you the price of how much it's worth. Normally, they're kind of out of whack. They're either a high ball or a low ball. I mainly stick to TF2 Outpost. Just once again, go to Google, search TF2 Outpost. It's kind of like an eBay or a Craigslist. You automatically sign in through Steam, and you just post what you're wanting to sell, and you put a description on it, like, hey, taking quick sales only, blah blah blah. For the people who know what that is, probably not. Shouldn't have said that, but oh well. And also, I was going to kind of explain the general price guide of hats. Not all hats are around the same price. For instance, like we'll start with, like you have a vintage hat, camera beard, or Tough Guys 2. Both of these are vintage, so it kind of adds like a refined or a little bit more to them because they're vintage. So they're around 2.33. And then you also have stuff like the stuff I crafted, which are just craft hats. The No Mercy is probably a little bit more, but the Geisha Boy is actually a really good example of just a standard craft hat, which you sell for around 1.33, which is going to be one refined, one reclaimed. Most people try and buy them around 1.11, just 'cause obviously, you want to buy them for cheap and sell them for more, TF2 trading in a nutshell right there. um, and then another thing I was going to go into is that, like I was saying, like spreadsheets, I try and look at the spreadsheet as a general area, just so like like the miscellaneous item for Scout, the fast learner. It's not like buying any other miscellaneous item, like it's different, it's way more expensive, it gives you a general idea. If you're new, I suggest you always check the spreadsheet. If you're buying something, if you're selling something, I would ask the server. And another thing, never tell people you're new to trading. That's the biggest thing. Once again, if you're watching my videos, I don't know if most people who watch these have me a friend on Steam. You can add me on Steam. I can help you out with price checks and stuff like that. I'll put my Steam name or a link to my Steam profile in the description. But besides that, you just get different prices. The general consensus of prices on hats, like non-unusual or non-vintage hats, are going to be around like 1 refined to 2 refined. That's going to be your general bracket. But you get like a Villain's Veil, which is a little bit over like 2 refined, almost like 2 keys, I think. I could be completely incorrect. Probably am, but oh well. Um, But yeah, and then you have the main currency I wanted to talk about. You have, like I said, refined, which I actually used on my keys. I wish I had keys, but I actually just go to the shop real quick. Go to items. Then go to tools. Where are keys? Aha! Manco supply crate key, $2.49, which that's not really what they're worth. I'll talk about that in the other video, in the next video. But yeah, that's like kind of the next step up from refined is going to be keys, which are worth 2.33. And then once you get past that, you get into Bill's hats, which right now they're worth unpainted 8 to 9, and then painted 9 to 10. And then once you get past Bill's hats, you get into earbuds, which right now are plummeting down. I think you can buy them for like 19 keys. About a month ago, they were worth 25 keys. You know, they're dropping pretty fast. And then, you know, just once you hit the earbud level, you buy unusuals like the unusual Larkin Robin, about 3 buds, Stormy Storm. And in the next video, I'll kind of talk about certain effects and the definition of like a cancer hat, a quick sale, you know, all that kind of stuff. That'll be more in the unusual video in the next one. And then the fourth video is going to be more of like tips and tricks I kind of do, how to sell your stuff, what kind of stuff to say to people to trade, and just kind of common like trading etiquette, stuff like that. And what else did I want to do in this video? Um, just kind of addressing like just simple things, like for instance like strange weapons. You know, not all strange weapons are going to be worth the same. You know, you get a weapon like, who uses the Scottish Resistance? I don't know anyone who prefers this. That's why it's worth 1 reclaim at the maximum. It's worth like 1 to 2 scrap, I think. But you know, this my wicked nasty sniper rifle is worth, you know, it's like 2 refined, or like 1 to 2 refined, and then you get like the medi gun, which is worth, I think, like a key right now. So I mean, everything goes up in price. And you have miscellaneous items like the Clan Pride people will buy for a little over a key. So that's pretty much all I wanted to touch on this video. Just if you could, you know, stay tuned, subscribe, stuff like that. Next video will be more unusual and higher tier trading. And once again, video from Castedgaming. Thank you.